Now I'm going to take some bright orange dubbing. Sometimes you gotta start it with the tweezers, just to give you another little demonstration on a different type of feather and how to put it in. We're going to wrap this dubbing up real quick. Okay. So now we're going to work our way to the back. This is demonstration. This is not in the order of tying a fly or anything to that effect. We're going to come in here and I'm going to get actually I have one right here. We're going to get a barred ginger hackle feather. Now that I pulled these fibers forward just to get a better view of what I'm doing, and for you, what you want to do is you want to take these fibers and pinch them off. Normally I don't do that much. Normally I do about 1/8 of an inch, but that gives you something to tie down whenever you're tying a fly. So what I do is I lay that in there where the feathers aren't quite touching this yet. The feathers aren't starting till way back up here. Sometimes you can pull this forward or backwards, whichever way you want to do it, and I'm just going to pull it out to give you more of a repetition of what's going on. So I'm going to do some nice tight wraps. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to fold, if you can see it. You can't see it. This is in the way. This is the tag end of the feather, the tail end, that stiff part right there. I'm going to take that and fold it back. You don't have to, but if you fold it back and then wrap over it again, that feather's really caught in there. Except for I broke it because it was really tight in there. Do the same thing over. Just make a nice tight. The reason I put the dubbing on there is to make this a nice ball, nice and big for you. Now I'm going back over that. Now I'm going to take some more dubbing and cover up my thread spot. That's a lot of dubbing, but way too much on there. I'm going to wrap this all forward, covering that thread up, and bringing this back in front right here. Do some nice tight wraps, clean it up. Now, people use hackle pliers. This one's pretty neat. What you do, if you don't have these, you can just wrap it by hand. But what this is initially doing is bending the feather around the hook, and it's making these fibers of the feather stick straight up in the air. So what you do is you just keep wrapping forward. Sometimes you can gotta stroke it backwards just to Get the feathers to lay in there right. If you're doing a really small fly, you want the hackle feathers really close together. You can see it's kind of spaced out a little bit. And get to the front, do a couple wraps over top of each other, and then you can come in here and wrap it up. And then you want to make sure you go underneath of it and capture it. Got too much thread out. Come in here and do some quick wraps over it, and you can let go of that. A couple things I did wrong is I wrapped backwards too far. You can see I have some of my fibers facing straight backwards, and that is one thing you don't want to do whenever you're tying dry flies. Some particular flies, you do want that effect to where it comes out. The other thing I did wrong is I wrapped too far forward. Whenever I tie it off, I have some fibers sticking straight forward and other ones sticking straight back. You don't want to do that too often. The fish can see that. So you come in here and you cut them out. Not only do the fish see it, but whenever you put glue in there, now my eye is covered. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the fibers in there. The eye is covered. So whenever I go to tie this onto a fly line, I'm gonna have difficulties. So sometimes you can get in here and take your patience and cut them out. Put your nail under it, get them sticking out a little bit, and you can cut them closer. But no scissors are that small to get in the eye hook and work properly. These are arrow scissors. These are hair cutting scissors, but they have a micro tip on them, which is better than the arrow scissors. But this micro tip can come in here and get really close and cut them out. Sometimes. And to finish the fly, people use head cement. A lot of head cement is water-based. And you don't typically want water-based head cement, because as soon as you put it in the stream, it is going to fall apart and come undone. So what I do is I use nail polish. And for demonstration purposes, I covered the whole eye of the hook, because I have a hackle feather that I always use to come in and poke through the eye of the hook and clean it out. No matter what, you get glue in there, unless you put it on the end of a needle, but that takes a lot of time. So you just come in here and you put your hackle feather in the eye of the hook, and you can spin it and do whatever you want. Just get all the glue out of it. And for that one I use glitter glue. Glitter nail polish, I should say. And it's really shiny. You can see it shining. And that's basically how to add different materials and how to whip finish and start your fly on your hook.